think this thing's on. If it's on, let me know the audio's good. You know, the world's getting kind of strange when you pass the gas station. And it's a beautiful 70 plus degrees out, and the police officer sitting in his vehicle. I don't know, pumping gas. Not standing by his pump like they say to, right? In case something malfunctions, which I have had. I've had malfunctions with pumps. Let me know. Have you had any malfunction with gasoline pumps? I have. I remember an employee one time, honestly. Golly, that sunset's beautiful down Apple. But I remember I had this problem one time. I'm inside, you know, and I'm thinking it's all good, right? I got somebody pulling up on me. See them turning. They use this for a U-shape turnaround, but sometimes they get a little wild. So I was also just nothing flew out of the back of my truck because it's a little messy right now. I'm going to start cleaning it up yet tonight while I'm hanging out with you guys. So come along if you got anything. Oh, and by the way, if you're cruising, don't forget, please hit the like button. At least when you're leaving, you're out the door too, because it just helps bring more people in, more community, more like-minded people, more just the wonders of the world, you know? What's this kid doing? You gonna leave? Just chilling there? I'm not opening this. What if I'm damn sacked? You guys know where I live. It's in the hood. He out. We're good. What's this? So I hope everybody had a good week. I hope the guys did good. Hope that everything went well. I didn't hear no Mayday calls, so I'm assuming they must have got her handled. Looks like all the trucks are intact. Hope everything went good for them. Hope they had a good week. Hope Cap was gone. He's on vacation. Hopefully he's got some relaxing. I think he got good weather. We need rain bad up here in Michigan. Let me know where you're at if you guys know what state you're in. It's already just pulling in here. There's a dust cloud. But otherwise too, like I said, if you got any questions, I think it was Alan was messaging me today, and he was saying something about having he was like, do you guys do any training? You know, and I'm like, not really at the shop, we don't, but I'm not saying it's not a possibility. So what I was more or less thinking was like, well, think about it, if you could, you know, depending on where you're at, there's always work, right, for stuff. Are you guys cloudy, or is it just me? I know I got busted up on the nose, but I'm just trying to think if you guys are cloudy or not. I can't see the sheen. I can't see the sheen with the sun going down. Nothing like being in the garage door beds, cleaning your truck out on a Friday night. Everybody out partying. Everybody out having a good time. I always wonder if I'm the only one. Am I the only one that cleans out their vehicles after hours? Geez, there's another car. Look at this car. You can barely see it through the fence. Right there. Just spun around. It's active tonight around here. What the heck's going on, man? People are getting goofy. Huh. All has hit for us. All the trees are turning colors. We got leaves on the ground. Look at all these leaves. This is kind of like unheard of. I don't know if this is going to be good or this is going to be bad. We should take a look, see what's in the old scrap hopper. Garbage is empty. See if anything good. There was an extreme garage door opener in here. Let me flip this around for you. And some of you guys maybe have seen these ones, maybe you haven't. Ooh, what's that? What's that? That's a Stanley, isn't it? That's Stanley. I don't see no on the side. Look at these ones, though. Isn't that Safeway? They really look like they're, they look like they're, to me, they look like they're made by Wayne Dalton. They look like the Wayne Dalton Quantum Drive. That's what that looks like. Oh, by the way, we got 1 like too, so that's awesome. It means there's people that are alive. What is that? Oh, here we go. Oh. Ooh, look at that one. Can I zoom in on this? Oh, I can. I can while we're doing this. Look at that. Look at that, if I can hold steady. What is that? Secure? I don't know if I've seen a badge like that on there. Look at the Stanley, huh? Wow. Wow. Wonder what happened to the old Stanley. Huh. Let's take a look at the trolley. Trolley. Plastic. There's the nose. It's got the chain / cable. Got all kinds of goodies in here. Wonder what happened to the old chop saw. Must have died. It was always kind of a cheap one. Sometimes those cheap tools will get you from Harbor Freight. But anyway, let me know what's going on out there, guys. Let me know too if you can hear me. Make sure, hopefully my audio is working. Ooh, look at this. Oh, that's just a spot. It just needs to get cleaned. Ooh, that's Michigan for you. Michigan Rust Belt. Even seems like Ohio sometimes, and maybe Indiana. Like they don't use this certain chemicals on the roads like we do up here. I think we use that chloride or whatever it is. And that stuff's real corrosive. But if you guys are cruising through, you're more welcome to ask any questions. Make sure you guys are clean. About the thing she's gonna get is what it is. But no, if you guys got any questions about garage doors, like I said, Friday nights normally aren't the best night for lives, honestly, because people are out boogie-woogieing, going camping, going out. I don't know what all people are doing. What are people doing? What are people doing? Camping. Hopefully not at the hospital. Hopefully none of that kind of bad stuff. I'm just curious. What do you guys do? So we did the Menards. It turned out pretty good. Not gonna lie. Didn't work out too bad. We still have a hard time believing this economy, though. I don't know. I'd really like to know what some of you guys think about the economy. It's hard to say, man. They did that interest rate cut, and I don't know about that kind of stuff. Ooh, currently taking a dump. Nice. Beard looks good. What kind of dump? You taking it one infill? Dropping off a dumpster? Dropping a dump? I'm joking, I know. I think it was my dad. My dad was the one saying, right? That, like, whatever, how many percentage of germs come from the phone from being in the bathroom. So make sure you wash your hands. It is pretty crazy when you think about it, right? The tracking device. But they all see what they got. A few trees that are still green. Anybody work this week? Anybody see having any problems with the immigrants eating their dogs or their cats? Any kind of problems going on out there? Any thefts? What's up, Kevin? Kevin's always got some good stuff, man. Kevin, I just wanted to tell you, I do appreciate. There's a lot of you guys I do appreciate, really, but since you're right here, Kevin, you're the first one. I just want to let you know, I really do appreciate your intel. You always got some stuff, man. And I mean that. I think you're pretty level-headed. You always got some good insight on stuff, which is always great. And don't forget, if you come through, hit the like button. Just helps wake up the algo. YouTube likes it. It stimulates it. It's like, oh, it's like taking a dump. It's like relieving. I don't know how to explain it. By the way, too, what'd you do, Kevin? What'd you do this week? I was just rushing here. Oh boy, what's Kevin got here? Said heard LiftMaster is bringing Logic 5 back for a while. Ooh, they're going to retool the Maximum to address some of the complaints. Kevin, do you know by chance what some of the complaints are? I'm just curious what some of the major ones are. They're going to bring back the Logic 5. I'll be darned. That's pretty crazy, man, in my opinion. And I'm also wondering if they're bringing back, if they're bringing back the Logic 5, you mean they're basically bringing back like the T50, the J50? Is that what I'm taking with that, right? Because obviously they don't go into anything else that I know of. Just trying to get some of the garbage out of this truck. One of those weeks, it got used. I don't want to say it got abused, but it got used. Try to get her cleaned out and ready for the weekend to try to get it ready for just whatever life throws at us, because life is always busy. Being an owner and stuff. Riding around my automobile. It's definitely kind of weird too, because that Menards one came with one extra hinge. And one of the hardware boxes, but not the other one. Can't really say I know why or understand, but that's just what it was. Ugh. Riding around my automobile. Yeah, I didn't do a live this week. It was kind of busy. So I did one tonight, maybe one tomorrow, maybe. People want it. You have to message me. Just message me if you want live. Talk about whatever. Need some of those young bucks. Those young bucks, man. Starting out, got those questions. Should get down and help out some of the young bucks. Kevin's got on there. He says, what do you got there? He says, no disconnect. What was that noise? Going to look out, put shaft on the jack shaft. Interesting. I don't know, but I kind of feel like that's a failure on their part. Kind of one of those things, like, I know I'm not gonna get no love from LiftMaster. But I would definitely say LiftMaster screwed that one. They screwed the pooch on that. I can't even imagine. Like, launching something like that and then pulling it back. Like, where was your research and development? Where was, like, the in the field? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't really, like I said, I haven't played around. I've seen videos that you guys have seen on them. We know they cost more money. I don't know if it's such a good setup. I just really don't. But hopefully, at least I give them credit for at least trying to get something better out of it. But I guess it goes to show you, right? It goes to show you that whole thing about... It it goes to show you the whole thing about don't be the guinea pig. And it's kind of one of those things like, you know, sometimes I feel like as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. You're supposed to. And I just, like I said, it's a cost. It costs more. I mean, the only one thing that I still think that I don't know if it's problematic or is troublesome is the fact that you can program it from the ground. I mean, that's one thing that does seem a little bit nice, in my opinion, from what I've dealt with in the field before. Is, oh, hey, by the way, we got 2 likes too. Thanks for the likes. I would personally like to see, I'd like to be able to control the opener from the operator head unit to the wall, you know, or on the ground. I'd like to have both options, but I know that's going to be a cost, or what do you call it? It's going to be a cost, not a cost savings. Oh yeah, that's what we did, baby. I feel like I need rubber bands lately. I feel like we never have enough rubber bands. I don't know what for. Do you throw it away or do you keep the rubber band? Golly, I just don't know. Just don't know what to do with it. So they're going to lengthen. Is that what you said, Kevin? You got in there? Lengthen? No disconnect. Going to lengthen out. Put shaft on the jack shaft. So obviously, Kevin, you've done some of them. I mean, you like them? I mean, what do you think? What's kind of your complaints about them? I'm just kind of curious. This bin worked out a lot better. This whole system, these Husky bins, I mentioned them. These worked out a lot better. Keeps your stuff. I went back to the old bag. My old bag, man. I've had this bag for quite a long time. It's gone through a lot of war battles with me. Just got my telescoping. I had the kiddo. When we were doing the job, I said, just throw it in the... Just throw it in there. I said, I'll take care of it later. So I figure if I could set you here for a second, possibly get this thing straightened out a little bit. See what I can do with it. Do we got any young lads on here? Newbies? Must be somebody over there like checking out their suspension or something. They're all driving funny. Rocking the vehicle back and forth. Doing out. Must be checking something out. Huh. Said all kinds of activity going on around here tonight. Maybe they're buying it, testing it out, seeing how it works. That always could be. And we might run out of light now here. Vice scripts. But like I said, jumped on here for a few. What do you got here? Kevin threw up something. Wow. What was Kevin? He says, mine was out Input shaft only sticks out 2 inches. They're going to make it 3. The 2 inch really don't give you options to move your sprocket. Okay, in and out. Okay. Nice. Well, that's good, man. Like, you know, if they're working good for you, you know, it's like, why reinvent the wheel? You know what I mean? 2 police officers just passed. It might be one of those nights, man. They might know some people are going crazy. Huh. But yeah, like I said, if they work good, because Kevin, do you know when they first came out with those openers, the maximum? Because like I said, for us, I want to see them out for about 3 or 6 years, you know, before we start putting them in like some of the road commissions and things like that. I mean, for us, you know, sometimes like when we do like these road commissions, you know, we're doing like, we pull out openers that are, I don't know, from like the 1960s, 70s. And so it's hard for us to like, I don't want to put something in there that's going to be like, you know, because when I look at it, right, when I think about it, I go, there's nothing in the industry that I ever pulled out that was a DC motor that was, you know, 20 plus years old. Because they haven't been out here, right? And so then when I think about the guy that sells them here in Michigan, he's the biggest distributor in Michigan. He might be in all 3 states. He's really big. Like, I know LiftMasters there, like every time you go there, there's like a rep there, and they're always like giving you free stuff, hats, you know, whatever, the cup holder stuff, you know, the koozies, whatever. And he flat out told me this was quite a few years ago, because they were just doing the DC, coming out with DC motors for the garage door openers. And he just flat out asked me, you know, he's like, you know why they're going DC? And I was like, I don't know. It's like they got soft stop, soft start, you know. And he goes, no. He goes, they're cheaper. And I went, oh. He goes, they ever pick up one? He says, it's way lighter. And I'm like, true. Now, I personally haven't changed out any of the guts in any of the LiftMaster residential ones. But I do know that it seems like the guy that we just did this Menards one for, he was gonna buy a used opener. And I told him, he said he was going to buy it off Marketplace. And I told him, I said, look, I said, I wouldn't do that. I said, and here's the reason. I said, these openers are having, I mean, I feel like we're swapping them out more with circuitry stuff than ever mechanicals. And so I said, I would want the warranty. I said, because, and I had even told him today, I said, I would keep the box, because I said, in 3 months when the thing fails, I'll come back, we'll rip it down, we'll throw it in a box. You got the receipt. We'll take it back to Menards and tell them this thing don't work. And hopefully you get one that doesn't have problems. Hopefully. No guarantees though. So he ended up buying a new one. So I think that was the right way to go, because it's probably okay on Marketplace. You know, it's probably okay. The one he was going to get, it probably work and all that, right? But what if it don't? What if it don't? What if it got a surge? What if the customer knows something about it, right? Or the person selling it? And like I said, these things are, you know, when I look at them, right? The only way I always know how to describe it is I think of it as like the Bic lighter. And nobody that I know repairs a Bic lighter. They throw it away, they go to the gas station, and they buy a new one. But now, if somebody's got a Zippo lighter, well, that's a different story. They might change the wick in it, they'll refill it, you know, they'll take care of it. Another goofy vehicle. Doing all kinds of weird stuff around here. This one doesn't sound like he's hitting the curb or something. What's this cat doing, man? Well, maybe I need to stand guard here tonight. Jeez. Maybe just got a busload of immigrants or something. I don't know. Or a van full. It looks like a creeper van. Huh. What the fuck is this guy doing? Do you ever feel like when you get older, you just want people to go away? Just go away. Go away. Go put a problem somewhere else. Go get in an accident somewhere else. Kevin's guy says, not sure how long, but I do know that boss went to Service Spring for pickup, and they were installed there before they were released. Nice. Exactly when, but feel like it was while the pandemic was going on. Yeah, it could be. It could be. You know, I'm always, you know, and the thing is I'm kind of I'm never like a good resource for them because I don't know. We've had the DC motors in a lot of our. So originally came out with DC motors were in the gate operators. And I don't know what it is, but when I watch the gate operators struggle, right? I've watched a lot of gate operators. Like I said, there's been numerous ones that are around town that still to this day, they just left them open. It's like the customer gave up. They had another company that installed them come out there. And then we had to repair a couple and we were changing circuit boards. Then it was like, we basically got to the point that we changed like 3 circuit boards in it. And we almost basically like told the customer, like, we don't know what to do. Like, all we can do is tell you to replace it. And that customer really didn't like that. He wasn't upset about it or anything, but he just was like I just spent, you know, whatever, $4,000 or whatever he paid for these gate operators. And it's like, he's never going to do that, right? And so then I've kept an eye on it for years now. And every time I go by there, the gates are open. It's for a residential one. Gates are open. Nothing's ever happened, right? Like, you know, it was almost like one of those customers you tell, like, you're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you know, it's no good. It's no good operator. So I'm kind of biased on it because I've dealt with a lot of the DCs over the years. And then, so like Cap was telling me, which I didn't really realize this, which I don't know how they're doing it with the maximums. Are they, because the maximums aren't battery backup, I'm assuming. That'd be a good question for Kevin. Kevin, they're not battery backup, are they? I haven't seen any battery backups on them, I thought. But being DC, they got to convert it over from the AC to the DC, right? So a lot of these openers, from what Cap was telling me, at least with the gate operators, this is what our conversation we were having. He was telling me that, like, we got a customer that lives on Lake Michigan, and they are kind of sick because every year it's an Airbnb, and they are replacing they use a car battery in it, and every year they have to replace the car battery, and then it's off solar. They're getting kind of sick of it. Well, in order to basically convert that thing or whatever, for whatever reason it is, it's just not worth it. Like, they need to run direct power. And I forget what the combination was, but you need to run direct power. They're not going to do it because it's way off. You know, it's like the driveway's up. You know, you got to go down whatever, a 2 or 3 mile road basically to get back there. And I guess in a nutshell they could, right? Because they probably don't want to pay for another power pole, basically, if I had to guess. So anywho, they're not gonna do nothing. And that's a DC one, right? Well, anywho, I worked on a DC not too long ago. And it's been in the field for a while. And what I didn't like was when it was taken off, I couldn't tell, but it seemed like it was hemorrhaging. Like it just seemed like it was hemorrhaging to move, and hemorrhaging of the motor was causing it to basically, not work. Like it kept freaking it out. So unfortunately for me, I like the idea. I like the soft start and all that, right? But for some reason, I just don't trust them. That kind of makes sense. I just don't trust them yet. They haven't been out long enough. They're not proven. The guy that, Dennis, I don't know if any of you guys ever dealt with Dennis. Dennis, he retired. But Dennis, son of a biscuit. Look at you with Miskic. Come on. Worky work. There we go. Woo. That feels good in here. AC's running. What is this? Feels like an old timer sent cash. What? Been opened up. Yeah, there's cash. Cash just sitting there. Ay. So anywho, I'm just not a fan of the DCs yet. I don't know if I trust them, especially in the commercial application. Here's the thing, what scares me is I feel like they could turn into the whole no juicy. Oh, try again. Yes, juicy. Maybe stare up at the ceiling for a second. Why we grab Wes and we get us a little tripod set up. Oh yeah. Yippee the doo-dah. Perfect. That'll work. And we power. Dang, life is good. Okay, so Kevin's got some great info here. Don't remember exactly. It says no, they are battery backup. Cable LiftMaster gates always run off battery, which I thought was stupid. Relaying on power source, that's eventually going to fail. Exactly. So Kevin, I'm a little slow. I'm up here in Michigan. But are they? So are you saying the Maximums are all battery backup? So are they running through the DC, or it says no, they are cable LiftMaster? So, because that's the thing is, I never like running through the battery. So like Cap was telling me, those ones, the battery backups. I think it's every 3 years. Yeah, I got a little boo boo. Like every 3 years, you got to change the battery. Maybe Kevin knows. Is that also with the residential garage door openers? No, it can't be because those ones aren't battery backup. But it seems like I have had some failures with the battery backup, with them freaking out. I do know that. I do know I've seen that. Direct power. Okay, good. So it's direct power with option for battery backup. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. That's good. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. It's hard to say, This ship doesn't want to change on them because, like I said, Cap said he's we haven't changed any circuit boards on the commercial ones. the higher end ones, right? Not the middle, medium. Don't do those. Those are junk. But we've done really well. And I don't even know what it is. I just know he says they're quite a bit more in price. So it's like, for us, it's kind of like, we're going to stick with tried and true for now. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't like programming the genies. I don't like it. I always thought the LiftMaster, I always liked my nuts. Those are a lot easier. I trust them. Some of this stuff's getting so mechanical, you know, or not so mechanical. It's getting so circuit board-ish. So, freeze. What we got? What we got? Dave, what's your opinion on Haas doors? Good question, Chase. So I'd like to hear anybody else's opinion. Tony deals with Haas. I don't think Tony's on here yet tonight. Things I remember with Haas. Haas was like really good garage doors, like for like their track was all built together, like all the flag brackets around there, and they're all riveted on. So I remember anytime I'd go to a new construction, brand new construction, and the builder knew what he was doing making the jam, right? You know, fur it all out, beautiful. And if you were doing like a subdivision or something, right, where you're just doing or a parkplex or something where you just bam, bam, bam. I really liked Haas because I loved the track. I already had the rid-on brackets, so it was like you grab the track, which was a very gnarly track. I remember kind of being in the shop. I remember putting them in the vehicle. They were very right because all the flag brackets are on there. So everything's just like kind of reminds me of barbed wire, you know, just a mean machine, right? But they were great because I remember I come up there and it was like zip, zip, zip. They were already adjusted correctly, which was great. So you didn't have to deal with the adjustments and stuff. They were great. But when you went to a retro, what's the word? What do you guys, is it called a retro? What's the word they use in the garage door industry? They call it like a revamp or a retro. They go, bug, did I get him? Dang it, I think I missed him. Like a little fruit fly or something. He was a big one too. I wanted to crush his hiney. Sorry, squirrel. But when you had to tear out a door, and it's a customer that the jams are all, you know, they got the block at the bottom, and it's you know, it's not quite perfect, or they use the wood, right, for the weather seal on the outside, and that's sticking out, and yet you don't really want to cut it, or something quite right. That's where they sucked, because then you had to drill out the track, put track bolts in there, get them adjusted. But they're solid. I mean, they make a nice thing. When I was at the last IDA show, I was gonna get signed back up in a sense with them and really push them. And for some reason I forgot or something. I don't know if they've always doing it, but they use a plastic bottom retainer. And I'm looking at them and the guy's there and he's like kind of giving me the whole sales pitch. You know, you use these products, and I'm like, kind of. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with this. Like, they got plastic bottom retainers, and I hate plastic bottom retainers. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, just go ahead and give me a brochure. What's your card and okay, yeah. Like, maybe I'll give you a call. And so I just couldn't, you know. And then, like I said, the problem for us is we don't do enough. We're hardcore, always new construction, and we're always following maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 6, whatever builders, and they had their stuff together all the time. Or even when I told them they don't have their stuff together, they'd make their stuff together. I'd say, heck yeah, their stuff's all built, boom, boom. They're nice, they're solid. Ooh, Eric says, I like the Maranus. He says, it's all mechanical inside, but I would probably like the Power Master. But I've never seen one in person, so I can't honestly say anything about it. Yeah, the Master are pretty nice too. Ooh, is it Joni coming for your nose? Come on, baby, make it heal up, would you? Took a little beating. And anywho, but I'm thinking about, right, when I'm thinking about so a lot of people don't know, right? Oh, it's coming from my nose. Yeah, I was thinking it's fruit fly, probably. Good one. So I still ain't seen it. God, I hope I got him. Man, I was hoping he's gonna be a gusher too. But anywho, so with that, the Power Master, right? And this is the weird part about it, right? supposedly, right? Nobody's really told me no on this, and this is what I heard from them in a sense. PowerMaster was first. PowerMaster was the innovator. Power made the whole cabinet of the J50s and all that kind of stuff, and the T50s. And then something in there, I don't know if it was a coworker or whatever, something branched off and went off to LiftMaster. So it's kind of one of those things where I look at it and I kind of go like, in a nutshell, I go, if you're a square body Chevy guy, you need to go with PowerMaster because they're the tried and true. They're the original creators. And for the most part, I like them. I like them just because they're black cabinets. The Moranas, I think those are good openers. I've worked on a few of those. I just cannot get over the whole yellow and green. I just, I just feel like I got to have a John Deere hat on when I'm working on them. And like I said, I think they're great. I think they work. I think they do there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just like, just kind of across the board to have in the shop as a universal, like if I got to put it up at a Goodwill or maybe an apartment complex or just somewhere it's got to be seen, maybe with a whole row of other openers. And it's like black, red, black. Whoa. The hell is that? John Deere green. That's my only thing, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I just have a hard time with them because we get some chances where it's like, it's just as high as this man door, where the opener is going on to a little service bay or something real small. And I just still can't get over the darn colors. I think they make a good, but they need to come just to come out like a black unit. And maybe they do. Maybe they do. Evan, these guys says, what's on the agenda tonight? What do you guys want? I'm here for you. I learn a lot from you. I hope you guys learn a few things from me. Not much though. Just cleaning up the truck. Probably clean up a little more. Maybe tomorrow. Like I said, just get in the truck and hit a nail through the week. Of course, you know how that goes. Pulled quick as I seen it. It didn't sound like it was leaking. I did the whole spit, threw some water on it. Nothing. I don't even know if it was the same one because I found another hole. It didn't look like the same one because mine went on an angle. It was a roofing nail. But that was great. The next morning, sad face. Didn't had low tire. Wasn't quite all the way flat, but it was low. So pumped her up for the day. Nighttime had to fix it. But I got some new winter tires coming for at least my truck for the winter time. So not much. Weekend, who knows? I'm gonna call Eagle. Says I installed 2 automatics. He says, and after using a G, the slide gate was really disappointed at how weak it felt. Dang. The automatics? I don't know if I've ever heard that. I guess if Johnny, if you ever get a chance, if you got any pictures, you can shoot me a text, 231-720-9675. You can also email me. I don't think I put it in the description of this one, but it's in most of my videos, to daveadubson@gmail.com. I'd like to see some pictures of them. Honestly, I think that'd be pretty cool. We're just tried and true, baby, up here. Luckily, we got the linear. The linear work really good for gate operators. I wouldn't lean towards they got the one that's got the Hitachi in it. And the Hitachi has been, over the past 2-3 years, has been a little bit problematic. There's been some weird little things in them, and I'm not saying I like. So anything, it's like everything. More technology, more problems. But the Hitachi, what it does, it accelerates. The gate will start off slow, and it's ran by an AC motor and stuff. It's a variable speed, but they change the frequency or something. Really weird how they do it. But that's what the Hitachi does. But the gate will start off slow and then it accelerates. Very well built machine. But the Hitachis, I just don't know about those right now. But anyways, most time with linear, with the gate operators, AC motor. they're just tried and true, man. They just work really good. We like those ones. We have good luck. I love the cabinets. I can't tell you how nice it is. You know, it's like when you go into a customer's garage and their garage, like they actually took time to clean it up for you. You know, and it's not like it's got to be pristine or anything, but it's like, you know how it is, like when there's just clutter and you're like, oh, I gotta work on this. You know, it's like, geez, you ever sleep? Must have been 10 or 20 years before you ever slept, you know, swept the floor in here. You know what I mean? It just makes the whole thing so much better. That's why I love the linears, because I love the cabinets. I love that the electricians get in there and do what they got to do. I love that we can have access to put accessories in there. They're easy when the weather's crummy, and I tell you what, it never fails. Probably the only one in the life cycle of the universe that when we have really crappy weather, everything breaks, right? I mean, your vehicles, garage doors, gates. I mean, I'm joking, but hey, we got up to 8 likes too. Thank you for the likes, you guys. If you're just cruising through, whatever, it just helps YouTube University. Let's see here. But I'm with you, Johnny. That weakness. Evan's got, I find the remotes that provides, he says, for like an apartment complex are built really cheap, and they feel like they would shatter if you drop it. That's probably a good point, honestly, because any of the Moranis ones that I've ever worked on, they always had an external receiver, like a multi-code. I can't say I've ever physically touched one of their remotes, so I won't even know cheaply they're made. Everyone I always went to always had a multi-code up on the 3 terminals, which I'm assuming they still do the 3 terminals. That's what I really liked about PowerMaster, and Moranis does it too, far as the external receiver. That is nice. I love that they give you that option. You know, where like LiftMaster, they want you to use exclusively their crap. It's really hard to wire in their stuff, it seems like. Eric Scotty says, I don't mind John Deere green cabinets. He says, I find it cool. The older operators are dark green. A lot of them are goldish color, like a gray goldish color. The oldest ones I know, some road commissions. But like I said, I love John Deere green. I mean, it's all cool, man. I love it. But like I said, when it comes to certain things, I know our builder would call us out on it, be like, what is this? Like, you had to come back and replace, there's 12 doors lined up on this wall. What is that? They're just like that. Unfortunately. So that's why I still would stick with a PowerMaster, just because it's one of the units for us anyways. It's going to be sitting here, and we have no idea where it's going to go. It could be off to, who knows? And I did talk to those guys, because they're from Canada, right? The Moranis, and they were very nice people. You know what I mean? I wouldn't hesitate, but it's like, you got to give me an option for a different color of the cabinet, or the covers on them and stuff. Says we order our Moranis units without the receiver board, and we just use. Oh, there you go, right there. Eric Scotty says order the Moranis units without the receiver board, and we just use multi-code. You can't beat multi-code. I tell you what. I am concerned though. I feel like the old multi-codes even made me kind of nervous lately. And I say that is it seemed like something changed. I can't say I've had any problems with it, but I wonder, something looks different than what I'm used to. How do you guys open these? You guys use this like I do? Just take it like this, stick it in, boom. Some people use coin. I used to use a screwdriver, so I figured out you just take off the, bam. This has changed. This is not the old school multi-code that is different. And it seemed like it kind of happened around the cough syndrome. And I'm nervous when I see different stuff in there. Like, I'm like, I don't like stuff being messed with. So I go, I don't know if this is, like I said, I can't say had any problems, but I get nervous when I'm on a job site. And I go, Are you, I look at it and I go, are you going to be good to me? Are you? You better be good to me. I believe in you. We've gotten a lot of these for our gate operators. These ones don't work that good, as far as I'm concerned. MD 1911. Never been real satisfied with this. Like I said, you gotta, oh, I gotta open this thing, I gotta do something. Well, this is a learned one, I guess, so you don't really have to open it up. But if you gotta change a battery or something, you know, you gotta take the screw out. It just doesn't feel the same. I'm just not a fan of this. I just don't like these. But these, I like these. I like the codes. Multi-codes have been really good to me. I don't know. These just, I don't know. We got so many over the years. We got a whole collection over here. Our trick-or-treaters, we'll give them to you. Gotta get rid of them. Always wanted to use a AC motor with variable speed on a garage door opener. Ooh. It would be way quieter than stupid DC motors that sound like a Powers wheels. Who's the one, the Brazilian hot dog? He's got some videos. I didn't know that was even that really out there. I've never really paid attention, but he's got very good videos showing how they some of the older AC units were quieter. They had the anti-vibration rubber mounts in there or whatever. They're actually quieter than the DC. And then I didn't realize the DC motors were making this vacuum sound. And after he's showing you in the videos, I'm like, it does sound like a vacuum, you know? But I was right there with him when he was talking about some of the covers and some of the levers and some of the designs of them. I thought, yeah, you know, I would agree. They don't feel as good. What I say with the gray ones might be, was it magnetic? Probably spend it, or I'm assuming I'm spelling it wrong, but they're another Canadian company that makes commercial ops. Which one is it? I would show you, but I don't got my other phone with me. Like I said, I thought. Evan's got, you ever come across Stanley commercial operators? No, I don't think I've ever seen a Stanley. Have you seen a Stanley? No, I don't think I've ever seen a Stanley. Somebody ever use a Stanley commercial operator? You gotta send me a picture of that. I thought far as Stanley was their plastic covers and their plastic trolley and their pieced together tube-like rail, you know, residential. It says, I remember my school growing up had a Stanley jackshaft. Wow. After I left, Shittown, it's since been replaced by a LiftMaster MT. Oh no, an MT? I'm not a hater of the MTs. I'm just not a big fan of the MTs. I gave up on the whole MJs and MTs. It just seemed like they always came back to bite us most of the time. Unless you're doing a very, like, how do I explain it? Like, I think if somebody like renting out like stalls, right? Like they can go automotive, like repairs or something on them, or, and it's like maybe a pole barn, not even a pole barn. I don't even know. Just don't even know. Because what is it? You have to buy like the accessory, because every time an MT goes in, it seems like an MT always went into a steel building for us. Because if they build a pole barn by the Amish, what do Amish do? Amish put, it's just like this building. This building's got steel on the outside. So the radio signal never gets through the darn thing. Commercial. Well, commercials, it's a steel building. The signal does not get through. So for us at the time, I think it was rough. It was a couple years back. It was like a $60 upcharge to go just a regular T50 or a J50. And I remember sometimes stuff would get bidded by the secretary and things like that. And then it'd be time to order. And I would tell the secretary, I'd say, look, we're not doing these. I said, well, I personally, whatever, the business, I said, we'll eat it. Well, that's what I quoted her. That's what they wanted, or that's what they expect. I don't care. I don't care. It's just sometimes you don't understand the problem when you're out in the field, and when you install that thing, and then you got to buy that, like, I think it's like a card or something to buy, right? For the receiver to extend it, to put it up the coax and stuff. Nope. The fire departments, we had problems with department. We'd install a couple, right? Save them a few dollars. And then they'd be like, we want to wait to it because our drivers keep smashing to the garage door because they're not waiting for it to go up. I got to look at the maximums. I should look at their website because I'm curious, what do they offer? They just got basically across the board one unit that takes care of it all? Or is it like they got, your medium duty, here's your heavy duty. I know they got the hoist. I know they got a hoist one, right? 'Cause some people were saying, unless you get a hoist, it's the only way you can have a disconnect. I remember schooling up. MT, are those Delta 3? I don't know what they are. I can never figure out. There's always a fine line. I always know the difference. The only way I always know these ones are different is normally by the color of the button. Like, I know white is different than gray, supposedly, right? And I know this one's different because it's got two buttons. But like, this one's 12, the MD 1209. This one's an MD 1911. Oh, I guess they do say here, it says this is a model MT-1B. And the other one, this one here, the two button, this is a DT2D. 310. Oh, see, this one's 318 megahertz. This is 310 megahertz. For the most part, when I see these multi-code, I know what it is. You know what I mean? And most time receivers have a jumper, from, was it 315, 310, something like that. All kinds of crazy stuff. Digital version, yes. That's what Johnny got. So Eric's guy says, I know Stanley made commercial ops. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to check the old Google out, check the images and see if there's any out there. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Weird stuff out there back in the day. Ooh, so Eric's kind of guy says, so why don't you exclusively sell PowerMaster? Well, that's a great question. So here's the thing. When you're conducting business and all that, there's only so much time in the day. And PowerMaster I have no problem with. I think they're great. But so you either got to buy a lot of quantity of it, right? Which we don't typically buy. We just don't buy a skid of like jack shaft openers that are commercial, right? We'll buy skids of residential openers, but we don't buy skids of commercial. Right? It's just, especially some of these companies, right? Because they're going on a 12-foot door, they're going on this, the disconnects, the chains, they'll give you different stuff, blah, blah. So, we kind of 1Z, 4, 3, 6 order certain openers, right? For the most part, there's typically a Wayne Dalton truck. Wayne Dalton's always been about the best. Wayne Dalton always used to deliver on Thursday at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, pretty much on the dot. And from a business owner's aspect, that's great. And these are the things you don't think about, right, until you run a business, right? Sometimes. One of the reasons is everybody's fresh and clean. Everybody's raring to go. Everybody's got the coffee going, they got the adrenaline going, they're upbeat, right? So the truck comes in and it's like, oh, hey guys, conversation has to end. Truck's here. And so you got all your guys here and you got whatever you got, you know, 7, 12, 20 doors on the truck. Everybody hustles. So anyways, Wayne Dalton would come. Wayne Dalton was our best vendor on that, which they sell the genies. So you got a truck that's coming every week that you can get stuff put on the truck, need it, or don't need it, but you're pretty much going to keep it. So that's one of the reasons. Power Master, unfortunately, you got to call them. You got to talk to somebody. You got to place your order. You got to make sure that's what you want. And so, for instance, this is what happened the first time, right? I think this was the first time we used it. Might have been the second time. And they made it right. They did a good job. Right. So I want to talk bad. But anyways, you get it. We had to order. We did one for trolleys. I think they call theirs a T50 too. You know what I mean? So we did the T50s. And what happened is it comes through another, like a third party semi-truck place, just a normal whatever. It's not their driver. It's just it's R&L is for up here, R&L carrier. So you get a truck driver and you're like, he's unloading you, he's giving you a skid of openers, whatever, and you're like, so where's the rails? And he's like, rails? I ain't got no rails. They must have left them at the docks. And you're like, left them at the docks? Like shipping dock? Or like, the docks where they load the trucks, which it is. But you're just going, so where's my rails? And I won't lie. I won't sugarcoat it. It is such a pain in the ass to go back and try to find them. And the carriers don't care. It's not like we can, if it goes through Wayne Dalton, we can call them instantly on the phone and go, hey, the driver's also going to admit it and go, yeah, they weren't here. They'll go, we'll put them on the next truck for you. Or we got somebody coming out in 2 days that's got to make another delivery up there for something, put it on that truck for you. So like I said, they made it right, but it's very if you go Power Master, in my mind, we don't have those deep pockets. You need to buy skids of stuff, right? And then what do you order for rails? Do you order 12s? Do you order 14s? Do you order 16s? Do you order a variety pack? Do you just order them all along and then you cut them down? That's kind of waste. It's more cost, blah, blah, blah. So to me, it's you almost have to be if we could find a distributor, if somebody would distribute close, yeah, all day long. But it's a convenience. It's a convenience is what I doubt. So that's kind of why we use a Genie, because Genie's just, Wayne Dalton got rid of LiftMaster. I don't know if they're being, I know they're overhead basically. Guy that used to work there that I did respect. I believe he was telling somewhat of the truth. He said, yeah, we're not going to be selling anymore, the LiftMaster ones, because they had circuit board problems. And I was like, whatever. He's just bitter. Overhead took over, blah, blah, blah. Well, then we started having enough circuit board problems, and the commercial ones, that I said, okay, this is getting ridiculous. We got to do something else. Like I always say, you're always trying to find the cleanest shirt in the dirt in your basket. So we found the cleanest shirt, which was Genie. It has a little funk to it. What's up, Johnny? I see a text. So it's you know what I mean? You're this is what we're, it's not what you quite wanted, but it's food. It's right? It's slop. You'll live another day. But that's a good question, Eric. I'm glad you asked that. So that's hopefully it explains it. But that's why we don't. Otherwise I would. But I don't really run the helm anymore. I don't sit in the captain's seat anymore. So Cap does what he's got to do. And if he says, hey, Genie's been working great. And like I said, when we collaborated a couple days ago, or last week, a couple weeks ago, and I told him, I said, hey man, I've been laying in bed thinking about this. And I said, you ever change a circuit board in a Genie commercial opener? He's no. He says, I can't say I ever have. And I said, man, out of all the ones I've done too, I can't say I ever changed a circuit board. They will fail though if you change the pulleys and try to make them RSX, the overhead ones. They will. Yeah, I did that. So they burned up some shafts, but that was my doing. Says, why Wayne Dalton and Jeannie? We just order and we go to their facility, pick them up. Since we are 15 minutes away from Wayne Dalton's facility and this way for Jeannie's. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's that's why I'm always kind of like saying on the channel, hey, we got 9 likes too. Thank you, likes. When I started watching some videos on YouTube University there, guys that were older than me that I respected, and it's like I kept kind of hearing it, not religiously, but I would hear them talk about your dealership, like, oh, you want to go out and buy a new car? Okay, well, who's your closest dealership, right? Because what if there's a warranty issue? What if you need to get something checked out? What if there's a recall? And that's something I just never took into consideration because I look at it now in my own life. I look at everything as time, right? Because now it's like I go, the money part's not that hard. I can figure out ways to always find ways to make more money, right? It's the time. Like how much time you got invested, because you only got so much time on this earth, right? I always look at it. I see Johnny send us pictures. Thank you. I'll check them out. And so it's a matter of time, right? So now I look at stuff and I go, it's convenience, right? Because I realized when I was a young lad, like when I was running to our distributor of LiftMaster, they are approximately 45 minutes to an hour away one way, right? When we leave here, 45 minutes to get there, to an hour. And then you get there, right? And you got to say hi to everybody. They're very nice people. You got 10, 15, 20 minutes just there of consuming time. That's if there's not somebody else there getting loaded up or somebody else talking or whatever. Right? And then you got to drive back. So in a nutshell, it's almost by the time you try to, and then you do lunch in there, whatever, you use a pit stop for a bathroom or something, it's the day. So then I started realizing, like, holy crap, like I gotta eat, I gotta up more than because we used to dodge out there onesie twosie, right? We get a phone call, somebody say I need, and we go there, check it out, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, they need this, and we're gonna get you a nice, I was so focused sometimes. I was so focused on like the product to save me. And in a nutshell, the product's not what saves you, it's the service, right? It's kind of like when I heard that theory one time. You can go anywhere to get a cup of coffee. But can you go somewhere and it's the service? Walk in, the place is clean, where you get your coffee, it's not all slopped up and nasty and sticky in that like it hasn't been washed in days. The people know your name. The carpet, has been vacuumed. They got new rugs in there that you can stand on. It smells decent in there. It doesn't smell like somebody peed all over the place. It's the service. So that's why I'm always like, maybe sometimes we're wrong with the whole like, oh, but if I get in with Lifter, everybody's going to love me and everybody's going to want my product. You know what I mean? Not necessarily. You know what I mean? They just want their garage door to go up and down. I was doing the other day and I kept thinking, I think it was a fuse. I thought a fuse is not important. I had a screw fuse that I had. And I thought a fuse is not important. I don't think about fuses. I didn't restock my fuses. I don't think about fuses at night. It's not an enjoyable thing, right? But now that I need one, where's the fuses? You know what I mean? And so now I got to reorder one because I used one and I'm running low. So I have to order more, right? But that fuse was not important until it popped and the fuse was broken and I'm out of electricity. You know what I mean? Like now it's important. It's kind of like the whole thing with electricity, right? You don't realize how important electricity is until electricity is off. So garage doors are our demographic of Michigan around our area. Not everybody, right? Because sometimes you can get on the lake shore, you can get on certain places, and these people want high-end stuff. The builders are doing high-end stuff, and that's great. That's great. Run with it, baby. But for the most part, you know, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised over all the years. I've still never had anybody question me when I was banging a rail together or like, you know, somebody hovering. When I've had those old men, I've had them, they hover over me and they, you know, I'm surprised. What kind of pile of crap is this? You know, some piece together rail? They don't just, it's like they want to push the button and it works. I mean, the worst part is I've always had is their keys working, right? Their keys they got on their hip that they've used on the side of the garage door to open that thing for 20 plus years now. And they're retired or whatever, and they go, my key's gonna work, right, honey? And I'm like, I can get you an LC keypad. I even had literally the one I did this week. The gentleman for the Menards, it was Menards install. He mentioned to me he bought the opener. And he goes, man, he goes, his old opener had it. That's, I think it was 2017 is what it was. It was a Chamberlain, it looked like a box store one, but that one came with an outside or a keypad. And I'm sure when he got home and he looked and he goes, what the heck? Where's my... He looked at the box and there's no keypad. They want you to use your phone. And I said, yeah. I said, well, that's the world we're going to. I said, they want you to get that subscription. You know, I said, they want you on board so they can charge you every month. You know, that's what the whole stinking world's to get to. I mean, they're trying to find a way to get in your pockets, you know, or the customer's pockets and get something because they know the stuff. If they provide good products, you know what I mean? You think about it, right? If you pay $20, $40, $60 more now with less inflated money, right? And the product's going to last now 20 to 30 years, you know, maybe 10 or 15, you know, think about how like that doesn't help them in a sense, right? That's why they want these cars to fail at a certain point. They want these openers to fail at a certain point. They want these computers, right? The computers, even though you clean them, you take them to somebody that's a specialist, and they doctor them all. They still never work the same. They're just like your phone starts glitching. You know, eventually you get to the point you're like, I just need a new phone. You know what I mean? Nothing's repairable anymore. For the most part. Obviously, I take that with a grain of salt. What you got, Eric says, there are some things I don't like about Genie's commercial ops, but I haven't had any major problems with them. We only order a skid of Brandon's ops. He says once a year, so we use them sparingly. Nice, Eric. You should tell me what kind of problems. Put in the comments. What kind of problems? I mean, when I think of the Genies, the commercial, they're nicer ones, right? They're top of the line ones, special ones, the jack shafts, trolleys. Right? The only thing that ever scares me is power. Right, they're kind of sensitive to, you know that they're kind of brownouts or there's not significant, you know, the power's next or something, which is kind of nice, but that always scares me a little bit, you know, which is really good for the unit so you don't burn it up. The programming, I don't like programming them. I'll be flat out. I mean, I just do not like programming. Cap can whip through them way faster than I can. I can muscle through them. I do like there's an adjustment on the brake. So depending on what the customer's doing with it, you can really stiffen up the brake on it. I do like that option. But I guess for the most part, you know, I just, you know, they feel cheesy to me. They do. Cover, that's one of them too. Genie, if you're listening, change your cover. Change the screw. That one screw, because all it takes is that little black plastic piece pops out and you're done. It's like I've had it pop out with a door or something, it's flown off, it's broke on me, and I'm like, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, how do I shut the cover on the front of it, that plastic cover? And I'm like, so I've literally had to like use like electrical tape, I've had to use like duct tape. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. So, or if any of you guys have a good idea with the commercial, with the on a Genie, let me know, because you lose that plastic thing and you're done. You're done. It's over. Let me show you if I can. I'll go out for a walk. I feel like stamp anyways. Hopefully, we're on Wi-Fi too. Hopefully we're not glitching out bad. Electricity. Thank you. Oh, look at that. It's like it was mess right there. It's just sitting there, all its glory. Yes. Holy cow, man. Guys have been a little rough on the ship this week. It looks like they got some stuff in. Let me see if I can turn this puppy around. See if it'll even show up. Oh, this guy. this guy right here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's the problem there, Jeannie. I hope you're watching. See if we can get the old Leatherman out here. I've had to use the Leatherman a couple times on her. There she goes. There she goes. But this brake system's really strong. I don't know what happened. This is probably when I sheared the shaft off, trying to make it like an RSX. That was my fault. That was my fault. But there's like not enough meat to like change it where you can like, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's just not enough meat to like put screws on the side. I don't know what to do with the little booger. Come on, cover. You can do it. But these suck if you're up in the scissor lift. And they brag about this cover so much. They're like, check this out in their seminars. And they pop it off. And they flip the opener upside down and all that, which is super cool. But this right here is the kiss of death. If you lose that, that thing pops out. I've had it pop out before. Oh, there it goes. It kind of wants to pop out. And now you got to, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Oh, no. Oh, no. Where's it? So if you don't have another one of these, which I'm not going to lie, I don't really carry those. I don't know if they sell them or give them to you. But there's just not really, there's no meat on this like a LiftMaster has. You know what I'm saying? On the cover where like at least you could put a screw in the side on a LiftMaster. See if they got anything in here. They got a big old transformer. I like seeing that. Big old transformer, baby. And got their boards that light up for you if you need them to. They're just pretty good. They're pretty good. They're pretty universal. The covers seem a little weak to me, but, you know, they do the job. Put this back on kind of first. Somebody. If I can do it. What's Eric got here? Eric says we had issues with the brakes mostly. Oh, interesting. The brakes, issue with capacitor or bearings. Yeah, I don't think we've had any of that. Like I said, I tried to make this one like an RSX and it burned up the, it basically wore itself right off and dropped it, man. It was my fault. It was my fault. I don't know if this one has it on there. The belts were too tight. Let's see what this one's got. No, this one's just chilling. That one's all right. I think one's all right. I was hoping Cap had a bearing sitting here somewhere, but he don't. I don't think he quite told me. Oh, I know what problems with this. He was saying there was a button getting stuck on the Power Master. But these ones, you know, these are kind of what I grew up with. I mean, these have some circuit board problems too. But like I said, at least if you lose the screw or something, you know, you can go get a screw and you get a little self-tapper in there or something. You know what I mean? And yes, I guess their covers, they always tell you they're sharp and stuff, but I've never had too many problems with them. But these, look at that big old 350 Chevy. Look at that. That is a work of art, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I think he must have got these ones. I think these ones were used somewhere out of a tear out or something, and then I can see there's something there. MTs, whatever. No, thank you. What hops do we got? I don't think we got too many. We just got these ones. As far as I know. We got some of the LiftMaster up there. There's a few Genies. I said we haven't been doing a lot of cobweb. We haven't been doing residential. Like, see, here's another Genie sitting here. Let's see this guy. That guy's sitting there. That's just a Lansing stock one. What I got up there? Stocks and two. Those ones are just some Genies. I don't know what models. Genie kind of has. Oh, that's a free. Okay, so that one's got the number on it. See, like they kind of got a bad, like, I can't see that. That drives me nuts where I can't look at it right away and go, what is it? You know, they should put them on all the sides. They got it over here, right? But I don't know. Just can't, you know, like I said, if they're sitting like that, yeah, you can see them. You know, ooh, we can see it there. But with them stacked up like that, Like you're always trying to find the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry basket. Just how it goes. You know what I mean? But that's why I say with a lot of people, or some of the guys starting out, or they're doing their own thing. I'm always about like, I'm just use the box stores, man. Just use the box stores. Go to the box stores. You'll get, that's about your best service. Don't worry about much about getting in with you know, with Genie or LiftMaster in time. You know, if you can find something like an AMAR and stuff like that, just to help you out in certain circumstances, do that. That helps out too. Like I said, it's all about that service. As far as I know, the best service I've ever seen so far is the box stores. They don't really care. They don't question you. You throw the crap back in a box, they're gonna probably throw in a dump. Might send it back to the manufacturer. Try to stick with, you know, the Genie. Try to stick with a Berlin. Those seem to be good good options. I don't know if anybody on here, because we don't have a lot of people, and we did get up to 10 likes, which, thank you guys. Excuse me. I've heard some of you guys tell me about the lawsuit with LiftMaster and Genie. I still don't have any good scrap pile. I look at the beginning of the video when you get done with the live here, Eric. I did in the beginning. We had a Safeway. You ever seen a Safeway? It's a residential one. It looks like, to me, it looks like a Wayne Dalton Quantum Drive to me, who makes it. And then I know there's an Extreme in there. There's a Stanley sitting there in the scrap pile. But anyways, on that lawsuit, I haven't nobody really clarified to me in an email or text or anything. What was the battle? The battle between Genie and LiftMaster about the blinking on the LiftMaster. Because I don't remember, I could be wrong with this, I don't ever remember Genie ever blinking. You know, having where it would, you know, would blink across the photo eye or anything like that. So I'm like, why did Genie have a problem with that? Or what was the lawsuit? Why is it now the new LiftMasters or Chamberlain, you know, they don't they don't blink anymore when you cross the photo eye? I haven't nobody really clarified that to me, or what it was about. You know what I mean? Like how, like Genie just like, you know, you guys got a patent on this. This is bull crap. We should be able to use it now for 10 years. You got it for 10 years. I'm always just kind of curious. Got this spider looking at it. I gotta kill it.
What do I kill it with?
Oh, of course, now he does the Houdini, man. All kinds of critters running around. Yeah, so we said the scrap pile, but like I said, if it's got, you know, squeaky. If you guys got anything, like I said too, questions. I love the questions. Don't be afraid. If you're sitting in the background, bring it up. If you think it's silly, it's not silly. We'll talk about it. Like I said, anything on it. Pick the brain a bit. That's what I do it for. That's what encourages me to keep going. You know what I mean? Because of you guys. I love it. I love you guys are out there hustling, teaching me some of the stuff that's going on out there. You know, it's even like with Kevin. I hope Kevin has, you know, I hope they have really good luck with these new LiftMaster openers. I really hope they're working out good. You know, the thing is I'm never gunning for it to, you know, that my product's better than somebody else. I always like, you know, every area is right, and you know, whatever works good for you, you know, might not work so good for me, and vice versa. You know, so you just gotta kind of use whatever works. You know, but I tell you what, man, I get real irritated with, I do not like callbacks. Callbacks are one of those things I used to be very forgiving with. You know, I didn't really ever think about it until it was like when I heard it being said that, you know, with, you know, every callback is your production. You're not out producing more work that should be getting done. There's more revenue, more money. You know, callbacks typically are always one of those weird, you know what I mean? Especially if it's in a warranty period. You you know, and I'm very, I like my flat tires. You know, I'd rather have a flat tire than a weird glitch. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's got a flat tire, got to get it fixed, got to replace it, got to fix it. I don't like ghost. I don't like ghost in some of this stuff. Power issues we've been having. But, you know, you guys let me know if you're having any problems with some of that stuff. The genies. The genies just seem they've held up. You know, I can't think if anything has changed on the genie since I've installed, at least the commercials. Residential ones, yeah, I don't know about that. Obviously, one of you told me about the whole gray covers versus the black covers, which I found very interesting because now that I know that there is a difference, I keep it out for them, you know. Just sitting here thinking about how when I did a genie screwdriver one time, I lost a clip. It was my own doing, but I lost a clip for the shaft, you know, the screw drive. Man, I was bumming. I was calling everywhere I could, you know. You want to see the Safeway, Eric? I'll take you out there. You let me know if you want to see the Safeway. I'll take you out there. It's dark. I got a flash. I got my new flashlight. Eric, you always are into weird, you know, different things, kind of like me. I don't know if you were on the last one about this one. This one's made by Through Night. It wasn't a bad price. I think it was like $39, $40 bucks. I don't think it's even up in the 60. But the reason I like this is the other ones I'm getting don't look good. And my eyes are getting where I like more light. But this thing is, what sold me is when I watched the video on it, you can lock this thing. And I really like that because I can't times my other flashlight. And it comes with a holster for my belt, which I like. But and it's got your flood. This is like a major. You just hit this, and this is your, like, it just gives it the all. You know what I mean? Like the almighty power. It might be dead. What's that mean? Why is it blinking like that? I've been using it. I haven't charged it in a while. So it does like a flood, and then you got multiple, you know, real low settings and stuff. Very nice light. Very nice light. I would definitely highly recommend it. This actually it's a Through Night. It's a TN12 Pro is what this one is. Through Night. And I've had really good luck. This is probably my third. And it came with a clip. So if you wanted to clip it on something, it's got a clip. Also, I think came with a little tether. I don't use those, so I threw those things away. But then it's rechargeable. It's got a little, whatever you call that one. So I've been pretty impressed with their products. I've had really good luck with them. Casing aluminum, well built. Probably like the rest of their stuff, I'll probably really good luck with it. Ben was really nice. I can't remember the light I have. He says Ben was really nice. Oh man. Eric, you want to see those Safeway? I'll take you out there. Just let me know. So let's check them out. If you want to see them, we'll do it. Like I said, it's Friday. Everybody's tired from the week. Everybody does their Friday routine. I don't know if there's ever on Friday that people are watching. I've been off the whole. I haven't watched mainstream television in, I don't know, probably 8 or 10 years. So I don't know whatever's on. You know, I'm always just looking for information. They're on YouTube or, you know, pretty much YouTube. You know what I mean? Checking things, learning how to do things, fix things. YouTube University. Show me that Safeway. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Pull the cord off this thing. Let's go. I'm ready for a walk anyways. They're pretty cool. I don't know. They just remind me of a Wayne Dalton built. Ooh. Yeah, it's a nice night out. If I had a motorcycle, I'd be out cruising. I knew somebody wasn't going to kill me on it. Hit me. It's kind of weird to see a light. Okay. We're going to the scrap pile. We're going to get there. Let's see if I can turn this camera around. Go. Filming crew, follow me here. Where's the makeup? I need makeup too. Lots of makeup. Where's my seat with my name on it too? Man, this thing's always been this place, man. Take our scrap metal. What a godsend. Oh, where are you? There they are. There they are. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Look at it. It's got a multi-coat on it. Whoa. Guys almost took a... Wait. That's what it is. It's a Challenger. It's a Challenger. Let me climb in here. Let's see if I can do this. Please stand by. Oh, God. I'm okay. I didn't die. It's a Challenger. Huh. I didn't know that. Let's see if I can turn this around. It says your orientation can't be that way. It's a 3rd horsepower. I wonder if it had a model or a date on it. I don't see no date. I don't know. Anybody got any guesses on what year this would be? It's got the excellent 1, 3. I don't really see nothing. There's this number up here, but I don't know what that says. Well, I wonder if the model number CH-100. The old Challenger. Boy, they look very close to the Platinum Drive with the 2 rails on it. Eric's guy says, save them. I don't know, man. They look like a Quantum Drive. And you got the old... This one I thought was cool, though. This has got a cool sticker on it. It's upside down, obviously, but look. It's got the old... That's the old Stanley. I was telling a guy today, I said, don't touch these. Don't touch those screws. I said, it will screw itself. Won't work the same. It's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, don't touch those. Probably that multi-coat's probably still good. Oh, darn workers didn't save it. Here, I'll save this one for you. You can have this one, Eric. This one's right up your alley. Man, I hated these. Oh, I hated these so much. Oh, so much. What does that say? Change. Oh, it's a big 3/4 horse. Yeah. I say lies. Lies and lies. Oh. Edward's got, he says, those are old machines, probably 30 plus years. My dad put some in labeled Midland. Huh. Interesting. I wish I could see the trolley a little more. Or where the J-arm is on it. I don't know why they got taken out. So they got a close limit on there. Let's see if I can turn this light down a little bit. Turn it on its light setting. There we go. It's got a little light on there. Small compact units, that's for sure. Yeah, they probably still work. Let me feel. I can't tell if that's plastic or what that cover is. I think it's a plastic. Huh. Interesting. What's so special about the secure code, Eric? I just thought it had a kind of cool label on it. Can't say I've seen a lot of those. Oops, orientation. It does not like when I do my orientation. Date. It says date code on it. So what is the date code? It says, what's 004 or 141? And it's like 2000. I don't know. I know I've seen these broken before. That looks like it is broken. It could have got broken just from the jolt in here. Or it could have been broken from the, ooh, that's not good. That's not good. There's a nasty crack right by that leaf. That's no good. Yeah, that's kind of some of their weak points. And that could have been just from in here. I feel like I've seen this broke too, where the sprocket is. Boy, out there probably wants that cover though. There's somebody out in the world. That's a dude. Ooh, it's even got the curly Q light bulbs in there. Son of a biscuit. That'll save your life right there. That'll save you $10 a year on electricity. This guy looks funny for some reason. Guess he's not hooked in his normal spot. Interesting. They got their old cotter pin there. What a cheesy design. It worked though. It worked. Got a solid J-arm. Damn, they even nipped the corner on it when they manufactured it, looks like. I'll be darned. Solid one, not the stamped ones. Oh, hey, ooh, what are you doing down there? Oh, life wasn't so nice to you, huh? Okay. A broken one too, that's weird. At the very base. Interesting. Huh. A round tube. So weird. Oh wow. Ever says a family friend is still using that machine. Programmed a remote for it a year ago. Interesting. Interesting. My best friend had a Stanley growing up. That one had is it shafty sensors that beeped. What? When you cross the path. Oh yeah, the safety sensors. Yep. Yeah, I remember that. I remember some of those Stanleys doing that. They had a little weird light beep to them, it seemed like. You're like, what the heck is that? Like, why is it beeping? Yeah. There you go. You guys can have them. 3 easy payments. This is the nose of the Extreme. I always thought it was weird the Extreme never had the perforated. They just relied on the cable and the chain and everything to keep it all together. It works. But yeah, there's the old Extreme. I hate Extreme. I really do. Is that the trolley for it too? Kind of looks like it. Oh yeah, they got that weird bullet thing. Yep. There's where she locks into it. Pretty gnarly. Don't see any other gems in here. I'm gonna find a way to get out of this thing. Stand by. Maybe. I'll fire this light back up for a second. All right. Perfect. Hey, I made it out without breaking my leg. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. I ain't gonna lie, but there's like a different feeling touching it in a dumpster and knowing that's the end of its life. Like when you're in the field, you're always hustling and, sweaty, and the customer's talking to you, and you're like, yeah, okay, yep. Trying to fix it, trying to get it to run for them, whatever the case may be. I feel sorry for them, honestly. I wish I could save them all. I don't know, maybe somebody, what's a cool one that you want? What's something out there you want to save right now? If you're like, if I could have a dream used opener, what would it be? Oh boy, it's fogging up in the little shop. Hello, shop. Oh, what's going on with the sign? Huh. I made it back. Got some fuzzies. I got dirty. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But hey, like I said, if it's getting kind of quiet out there. Like I said, if you guys got any questions, otherwise I won't stand here and take up too much more of your time. You guys are more welcome to ask anything about business and stuff, garage doors, openers. Let me know too what your dream. I don't know what my dream opener would be yet. And oh, Eric, by the way, I've been using that fan you recommended. That's nice. It's nice. It's working out great. Seems pretty built. It's been working nice. Does what it's supposed to be. Been the Amazons. The Amazon fans. So they've been pretty good. Hopefully it'll last at least a few years instead of the Amazon. I don't think they even made it a year yet, the Amazon fans. Little fans used for like bedroom. Yeah. So I think I wanted to see the boss get dirty. Yeah, that's probably it. You know what I mean? It's paybacks for putting them in their graves. You know what I mean? Those openers. It's amazing. You know, I keep coming across those the Alistairs and stuff like that on Marketplace, and it's like oh, you know, they only want $10 or $20. And it's like, I don't have homes for them. I really think Eric's got to start doing the restoration where we can send them. He fixes them, refurbishes them. You got to send in a core. He'll send you out a new one. It's refurbished. It's ready to go back out there. It's going to last another, 20, 30 years, problem free. Because I got some doors that I've had over the years, and it's weird because like the customer I went to this week, they ended up, their photo eyes were stuck together above the opener. The one I did, I put the photo eyes on because it's kind of like liability. It's just the best, thing to do. I don't know. What does that mean? But, it says this message is held. But anywho, they, some old school openers it's just kind of nice not having sometimes like all the safeties and stuff like that. I just seen this on the desk. I wanted to mention this to some people out there, some people that watch. If you ever need car wash parts, this was a place I was trying to think of. American Garage Door Supply. These were very helpful people. If you ever work on car wash doors, which I don't recommend personally, unless it depends on what your business is or what you're doing. But they got all the stainless steel stuff, the rollers, the hinges. Very good company. There was 2 different Pauls I used to deal with out there. And I thought it was Paul with a B is what I used to deal with. I don't know if Paul with a B is still there. But a great company if you're ever looking for somebody where you need stuff. They were good company. I think they're out of Minnesota. I think they're over Minnesota, if I remember right. But good company, man. They always treated us good. Stuff's expensive in the car wash world, especially when you need the rollers and stuff. They're I don't know what Taylor's got here. Actually, I don't even know if we don't even have any moderators on here tonight, do we? We should make Eric. You should upgrade. We should upgrade you one day. Oh, Kevin is, but Kevin might still not be here. I'm not sure if Kevin's still here. But like I said, I won't stay on here too much longer. Like I said, Fridays are always pretty quiet on the live streams. I just figured I had some time. I got to clean up the truck a little. And I thought, you know what? I'll jump on, say hello, see if anybody had anything going on this week, anything that broke that was kind of catastrophic. I haven't. He says, I'm back. He said, I'd probably take the Stanley. He says, despite destroyed. What is a dangerous thing? What is it? Non-stalegia? What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm curious. Watch. Is there anything good on tonight? You guys watch on the main streams or what's on Fridays nights? That's kind of big on TV or anything. Does Simpsons still play on the Fridays? It used to be The Simpsons. I used to watch it when I used to go to my dad's. I always watched The Simpsons. I kind of almost feel like I should watch an episode of Simpsons. I haven't watched them in a while. They always know what the future, right? I tell you all the stuff that's going to go on in the government. I'm trying to think of what else. I have to wash my hands. Stuff's all dirty. Like I said, we'll give it to about 9:30. If anybody's got anything, otherwise, like I said, I'll jet off. Let everybody enjoy their Friday. Get their weekend started. Pretty soon it's gonna be winter time. Oh my gosh, it's coming. Simpsons is good, man. I used to love watching Simpsons. That was always one of my favorites when I used to go to my dad's house. You know, sit on and watch the Simpsons. It's amazing how long they've been around. They're just one of those things that just kind of they never get old. They just always kind of go along, you know. But like I said, don't forget too. Like I said, don't forget winter's coming, so it's a good time too to get the vehicles all checked out. If you got any service vehicles. Oh, Kevin's guy says still, man, that laundry, right? He says he says trying to get the laundry done. Got a car show tomorrow. Ooh, what's the car show at, man? What's the car show doing, or where's that? Gonna be a big one and a small one. You got a car gonna be there. He's gonna be checking out all the cars. I haven't gone to a car show in quite a while. It's pretty cool seeing the old muscle cars back. You know, I still think I'm gonna get me I'm still thinking I'm just gonna get me an old truck. The way I keep looking at how the world's going, I just keep going. I seen what was it today on my phone? I think it was General Motors was gonna recall like 425,000 trucks and SUVs. Oh, look, they're probably listening. It says Ford's inventory is over 100 supply in August of 2024. It just popped up on my phone. It's probably listening. They got me a little taste of Ford now because I said GMC or General Motors. But they're recalling. What was it for? What was that recall for? What was that recall for? It was something like, oh, it was something with a brake actuating or something like that, or the ABS. And I'm just like, like, really? I mean, I just keep seeing it across, and it's pretty much across all the manufacturers. I just go, they're just using such thin material nowadays. Stuff is so compact, you can't work on it. It's got so much computer stuff in it that you can't work on. I'm just like, you know what? I'm about ready to go back to an old 3 Chevy carbureted, you know, something with overdrive. It's a gas guzzler, but you know what? Gas is cheap in comparison to finding these mechanics. People that can work on it, the mechanics are really crummy nowadays. You know. Ooh, man, pizza does sound good. I wonder if maybe I can still get the wife to order some. That does sound pretty good. Eric's guy says, eat dinner, pepperoni bread. Says from Domino's. Ooh, man, dang. Apple Festival tomorrow, or he says, I got a 97 Corvette. Ooh, nice. Nice. That's awesome. That'll be cool. That will be cool. Now, it's always fun. It's one of those, you know, like I said, I don't know what's going on with weather, but it's, you know, like, it's really dry up here right now. We need some rain, and then it's like fall is just like that. Like I think we're having an early fall. You know what I mean? Leaves I don't think are more vibrant this year. They seem pretty crisp, and they're already falling like crazy, which seems a little bit ahead of schedule. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't know if the old Gov got it wrong or what's going on. Yeah, because what did you have, Eric? Did you have the Kia? Right? You have the Kia? Had some bad luck with wheels recently. Reliable would be nice. Yeah, I know Cap sometimes does too. And as far as I know, the old tried and true that I've heard kind of across the board a little bit was those 4Runners. Those Toyota 4Runners, I guess, were pretty built. I was even looking at like a Toyota Tundra, the first gen, so I think it goes up to, don't quote me on it, like 06 and older. They all got some kind of problem, right? But the front end's under suspension, so the ball joints, I guess, are really sensitive. Like your ball joints got any play or any noise, they're gonna replace because they're known for dropping, and then the tire does the whole lean. You know, not cool. You know. Recently, it'd be nice. Oh, Dodge Caliber. Okay. How I'm just curious. How's the Dodge Caliber been? Has it been a pretty decent car for the most part? You know. it's kind of weird. I personally, I don't know. It says Eric Scott says okay. I don't really like. I don't really like the Dodges anymore. I got the older Dodger truck, and I like the older stuff. You know what I mean? But I've kind of lost faith, I guess, in the I always liked the trucks, and I liked. I guess it's probably like the era that goes up to the 5.9 diesel Cummins. Those all seem fine for the most part. It's kind of like when they changed I think it's a 6.7 they changed to now. I think it was a 6.7, 6.3, I remember. But Dodge has had some weird stuff going on. I watched the one guy, and he says, when it was Daimler Chrysler, that things were going up for him, and then when it turned into saying it wrong, stainless or whatever it's called, that's where quality went down. Even for me, right? I'm a big Toyota person. I like Toyotas, but the new Toyotas that are out right now are just having all kinds of problems. And then you gotta watch the certain years. There's some low tension piston rings, so some of them burn oil. In the cars and stuff like that. So you gotta really kind of watch. And I guess it all depends. It seems like a lot of these places, they put a lot of money into their trucks something, in my opinion, something in 07 changed. 2007 was like the era, that was the great-ish from on, like 08, 09. 07 and older, those vehicles were normally pretty tight, if you're buying a General Motors truck or something like that. But they all got problems, right? It's just a recent PT Cruiser. That's funny, man. I know a guy who used to work with me. His name was Kenny. Kenny was a cool cat, and he had a PT Cruiser. And Kenny was kind of starting out in life, and he was a good dude. And I always remember us thinking, oh man, a PT Cruiser, I hear so many bad things about those. And he just constantly would always call me, hey man, car won't start today, or the wheel being or something. He'd come in and like the exhaust was dragging or something, I honestly thought kind of when the PT Cruisers kind of came out, I thought they were kind of a cool little rad car. Like, and then as time went on, they were problematic. I never got my hands on one. It's kind of like having, what was the one car I had? That car was a problematic car, but when it was running, it was a sweet car. It was, what do they call it? It's a rebadged something, but it's what am I thinking? It's the Mitsubishi, but it's the Mitsubishi 3000, but it's made, it was a Dodge. That's what it was. It was Stealth, Dodge Stealth. I think it was a 91 or 93. It didn't have the turbo one. It had just this aspirated V6. It was a stick. And that was when fuel prices were going crazy, right? Back in the 07-ish era, 2007-ish, when gas prices were like hitting $4. I remember I was driving my truck out. I was dating my wife, and I remember I'm dying, man. It's like costing me. It's like all of $20 every trip out there where I had to go because I had to travel an hour and 15 minutes to go see her or whatever. And I'm waiting for this car to get fixed, and the mechanic is just not doing a good job. Finally get it back. The car's not running right. Anyways, long story short, got fixed. And when it ran sweet. You know what I mean? It was one of those cars, you go down the highway, 90 miles an hour. It just felt like you were like sunk right to the ground. Like you could just go around corners. You were invincible. Just one of those cars held the road so well. And I remember I ended up selling it to a worker that worked with me. And I told him, I said, look, I said, and he was a younger kid. And I said, look, I said, this car, I said, it's a fine-tuned machine. So if something's going wrong with it, you need to get on it. It's not like, oh, it's down one cylinder. Okay, I'm going to drive it for another, month. No, something, the engine light comes on, something didn't get it fixed. It needs to be, it's a performance vehicle. And he didn't do that. I ended up buying it back from him. The car was smoking, all kinds of stuff, put a bunch of money into it again, fixed back up, sold it again. It came back up to Michigan. I found it again. I think bought it from the guy. Maybe I just went and checked it out, and it was so trashed. It was trashed pretty bad. Recleaned, I just sold it. It was beyond now. Like somebody, they just did too much to it. It was just, it was gone. I couldn't keep it alive anymore. The damage was done. Eric says, or he's got the 6.7 is amazing, and if it didn't have to, yeah, emissions. Yeah, so the Ford with the 7.3 are probably the best. Yeah, I agree. You know, that's the problem is emissions. Emissions kill everything. You know, the government, and people just don't understand, man. It's like when the government gets involved, they wreck it. They wreck it. You know what I mean? With the emissions and stuff like that. You know, because I would agree. I think the 6.7 is probably good too, and it was like the emissions when they came out with the 6 liters on the Fords. You know, they had problems. You know what I mean? I guess of course they didn't put enough head studs in it. I should say that, but a lot of this has always changed because of the EPA. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm always wondering. Like I'm always waiting for one of you guys to find a document or find a video out there that's talking about like who controls this? Who really controls this? Because like I look at it like with LiftMaster and Genie and all, like I'm like, why are they changing these things? Why are they changing these things? Some of the stuff, when that guy told me that gear I showed you out in the scrap that had that plastic gear, right? I remember Dennis telling me, he goes, you know why they do that, right? He goes, you know why it's been around for 15 some years, blah, blah, this is a couple years back, you know. And I'm like, I don't know. I garage doors and install them. Like, I don't know. I replace them every once in a while. And he goes, because they work. And he's like, it's the fail point. He says, because most time you're always changing the big gear out. He says, not the small, right? And I said, yeah. And he goes, that's the fail point. And he says, you know, like they just work. And I thought, yeah, they just work. If they work, they work. And so I just keep wondering why we keep living like, you know, and I don't even know if anybody's out there has been doing any videos on it. I figure like the Brazilian hot dog guy there, he'd be the guy to do like a voltage test on this stuff. Is this stuff saving that much in energy, just being in standby, versus the old school, you know, with the transformers, which I know those things hum. They take a lot of juice. They're always waiting for something for a command. But I don't know, man. I just keep looking at some of the stuff and I go, why do we gotta like keep being spoon fed this garbage? I think in some degrees, when we can't even core function anymore, which is make the door go up and down reliably, versus, you know, instead of it's like, but look, it's got a camera, but look, it's got soft start and stop. And I'm like, okay, well, like, is it gonna work like in, you know, 10, 15 years? Like, or is it gonna, you know, because I think the Brazilian guy, he took one apart and it looked bad. Like when he took the motor apart for one of the DCs, I was like, whoa. I said, that thing looked bad. Like it looked shit. And I thought, you know, and I look at all this stuff. For instance, right, I'll give you a little example. I was doing the Menards door. There'll be a clip, there'll be a video that comes out eventually about it. But anyways, we're doing it live, so you get a little sneak peek, right? So anyways, I'm there, and the guy got doors, or 8 doors. The guy gets them, right? I look at the package, there's extension springs, and I'm like, nope. I'm like, I'm not installing extension springs. Like, no, he's already got extension springs. Doors work like crap. We got to go easy set. We got to at least go easy set, torsion spring. And I'm like, you know, I call around. I can't change out the hardware box. Got to take the whole bag. For $149, $150, just to say, you get insulated doors now instead of non-insulated. You get the easy set. So for $150 per door, you get upgraded into the easy set and you get insulated doors. So I'm thinking, well, if I want to save them some money, what I could do is I could do a spring conversion, right? I could do a spring conversion on these doors. But I'm going, I know a spring conversion is going to be about $300 by the time you do labor, by the time you do material, cables, wedges, you know, like we're charging $300. The spring, it's $100. And I'm going like, but a whole new door in my head, I'm going, a whole new door with the easy set is $479. So you're going to put $300 in, the bottom seal's gone, animals have ate it, the door moves like crap, the rollers are all shot, you know what I mean, they're out, you know what I mean. The door's dirty, it's got dings and dents, it's been in for, you know, whatever, 15, 20 years, I don't know how long. How to justify this? How do I justify this? I can't justify this. Like, I can't, like, I'm like, in my head going, sorry, dude, like, you're gonna have to take these doors back and you gotta get the other stuff, because that's your best option. Otherwise, this other route, that doesn't even make sense. And I thought, isn't this a shame? That's just like the world that we're living in. Like, I mean, for like $300, you know, or I'm going, or we just get a whole new door. Just like door sections, right? It's almost cheaper to just get a door than it is to do door sections, which is almost more labor for you or for me. And obviously, if you add labor onto it, it gets astronomical in a sense, and then it might be cheaper. But if you look at just the cost of the stuff, right? It's like everything's becoming such a machine-operated processing cookie cutter, like spec homes, right? They got it down to one outlet in the garage, right? You want more outlets than one. They're $75 a piece, and the person's like, $75, and you're like, yeah, but that's actually cheap. You know, for us, we're like $75. You know, that's not bad. You better get it done now before they put the drywall up or whatever. For them, I get it. You know, openers, I think they were like $800. You know, this is a couple years back. You know, and people are like, that's why I got you here. Like, I'm not paying this. You did it for $475. I'm not paying them $800. And I'm like, I get it. You know, the mid 2000s had the Silverado with the DBZ Duramax on the Allison 2000. Those trucks can get up to 1 million miles if properly. That's interesting. I'd like to know more about the Duramaxes, honestly. I know the Allison transmission, I've always heard really good things about it. I know there was at some point, I thought some of the half-Vs for a certain year used the name, but it wasn't like the real Allison. And then I heard that, so like the Duramaxes, I'm not real good with the names. You know, like the LBZ and stuff like that. All I know is it was like certain years had injector problems. I've been seeing that Dave's Garage. I've been seeing the pin failures, but that sounds like if you're like basically using a tuner and, you know, hot rodding the motor in a sense. So I'm always kind of like, I don't know what year is like somewhat of the best Max that was a bulletproof where it didn't have, you know, so many injector problems, or maybe they were all injectors. They all had injectors. I know there was a certain year they were buried, I think. So you had to take the covers off, whatever, to get to them, versus then they made them exposed. But I know when I had the Cummins, right? Cummins was very bulletproof. But Cummins was kind of underpowered for my taste. So I always thought if I go to a V8, you know, and when I had the 6.4, which was a lemon, the 6.4 was problematic, but man, the power was unbelievable. Just constant power on that truck. Just always had the power that you wanted. Had a beautiful sound to it coming out the tailpipe, especially if you get it next to a curb going down like Apple Avenue. It was just a beautiful sound coming out of it. Very nice truck. Love the truck, you know what I mean? But it had that darn 6.4. It didn't have enough head studs in it. And blue head gaskets. The motors weren't rebuildable, basically, from what I understand. Every time at eBay, and I'd look at a motor, I'd have problems or something. And I realized I'd be like, oh my gosh, it says it's $10 for a used motor. And I'm thinking, I can't fork out $10,000 truck. I got payments on, I got insurance on. I'm like, if I blow up this motor, the time the engine light came on, it was like, shut it off, turn it off. I don't know what's wrong with it. We got to take it in right now. You know what I mean? Where it was like, you know, like 350 Chevys and stuff like that. I've had some of the Chevy vans. What was my one? 2000, I think it was. Hell, that damn thing. I remember the alternator went bad on it. I'm cruising to my vendors, and I'm thinking, I'm watching the meter, you know, going down and down. And I'm like, I can make it. Maybe I can make it. I got to make it. I got jobs to do. I got to go. I got to go. And I remember I got 3/4 of the way out there, and I realized it ain't going to make it. It's not going to make it. Bail. Mayday. Turn around. So I turn around. I got on the highway, which was a mistake. I you know how your minds work, right? And you're thinking about vendors and everything else, and customers and I got on the highway and I went, oh my gosh, why am I on the highway? This was stupid. I took the on ramp. The motor started stuttering on me, but it still ran. I had nothing. I had no radio. Everything was off. I got to a point where my gauges all shut down. The motor was still running, man. And I was like, this is the kind of talking about. Yahoo, man. Go Chevy. I was putting down. I could only do about 45, and if I tried to accelerate over it was based on losing my spark plugs because I'm running off battery. And I got off on an exit. It basically conked out. You know, as soon as I made the turn off the exit, it stopped me right in place. I don't know if any of you ever see it. Maybe they only do it to us, but it's called Turks. It's a restaurant that's kind of known around up here in Michigan. They got great food and stuff. Van stopped right there. I was right off the side of the road, and I went, well, I said, I guess I know where I'm having lunch. So I parked the vehicle, whatever, on the side of the road. I walked across, I went in, had a great conversation with a guy that told me about one of my past employees that I hired and why he was a big mistake and why he was even a family member and he had to fire him, and his grandpa cried because he fired him, but he was a thief. And great conversation. And I had to wait for the wife to bring me, what did she bring me? She brought me a battery charger and the Honda generator. And it was funny because actually when I got back out there after my lunch, the van started. The damn van started. I couldn't believe it. It started up and I went, well, it's running. And I gave it a few revs. It's revving. I'm thinking, what the hell? We'll keep going. So I started heading towards her way. She was heading my way. And I said, well, we'll just meet in the middle. I got about halfway from where we were at, from that place stop. Van conked out again. I just cruised into a side dirt road. She met up with me. Let it sit there for about, 10 minutes or so charging. I started back up. I drove it to the mechanics, and there it went. And I went, that's the kind of stuff I want out of gate operators. I want out of vehicles. I mean, this thing just was running, baby. It got me to where I had to go. It didn't leave me totally stranded where I had to call a tow truck. I appreciate that. So, version of the 7. Okay, so the LBZ. Okay, LBZ. Derek, do you know what year those were roughly built? I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because that way I got the LBZ. If you know what year. Kevin says, do the same, Edward. I've seen too many. Wow, he says rather just use bars. Oh, Edward's up here. I must have jumped over. How did I miss you guys? Allison, have you ever taken apart an ATS? So have metal gears, I believe. I don't know about the ATS. I never seen the metal gears in them. I never used a geared hub with a geared hub. Okay, ideal, easy set springs. If I have to adjust them, they sell out 50% of the time. He says if you use bars and windy springs, they work okay. Huh. Ever used a geared? You never used a geared hub though on them, Edward? That's how I've been doing them. I found out it's really convenient because I go. Now there was one thing that Rich B taught me though. Spray some lube down that pipe, that plastic pipe. So far, knock on wood, I've been doing that, right? And I haven't noticed that annoying squeal. They used to have an annoying squeal to them when the doors would run. They go every time they go up, they annoy the heck out of me. So far, I don't know if they redesigned something. I don't know. They put some kind of own coating in there. None of them didn't do it. They've been all running smooth. But I do like the gear with the screw. It seems kind of cheesy, right? It seems kind of old man. It seems kind of like a garage door professional should be doing it. But I do like it because what's great is you don't have to undo the set screws. You can just put the drill back on there, put a few more turns, feel the door, feels good, doesn't feel good. You can take it on, you can take it off, add a little more. Instead of, how it is for us guys, right? You wind it up, you gotta set it down, you gotta adjust the door. Oh, still needs more. You gotta, get the winding bar back in there. You gotta take your screws back. Do I do a quarter? Do I do a half? Do I do a full turn? And then you, deal with that. So, they're cheesy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying I'd promote these puppies, but I'd say since I've used them, I've given them a little bit different look. You got to get the bearings tight. Otherwise, you can pop out the bearings. They work. They're budget. And I'm always trying to retrain myself, more or less for the new guys, right? Somebody just starting out with a shark or whatever, you know what I mean? Somebody, a little pickup truck, a little car, whatever, and going, hey, this is something I want to pursue. How do I even do this? And I'm like, look, just get out there and start doing it. That's why I'm always, I always try to promote Caleb, my nephew, because, he has the heart of a lion. And he's just out there, he's trying. That's the biggest thing. I'm like, get out there and just do it. Because there's so many different varieties of things where, am I going to say I never get stumped? No, there's always going to be something, right? But most of the time I know how to get myself out of the wet paper bag because I've just, I've been around it so many times. I'm going to dry one. So it doesn't even have to be wet anymore. Do the same everywhere. He says, I've never seen any too many blowout. Rather just use bars. Kevin likes to use the bars too. I used to use the bars too when I first started installing them. And I don't know what's changed. I don't know if it's just the old age. You got used to, we got used to this guy. So you think about this guy. It's kind of like this guy. Spring turner. Yeah, things heavy. I think I just blew out my wrist or my arm. It's kind of that, right? But it's already connected to the thing, and so you just go. So to me, it's like it's less winding and on the shoulders. And I sit there with a drill and I go. That works pretty good. I don't know. I like it. The springs don't seem like they do anything too funny. They're already pre-tensioning with that plastic. I did. Don't tell anybody, but I ended up pushing mine out a little bit because I just was scared that it was going to end up. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do, but it didn't. It gets a little bit of a wave to it, not the bad wave, but it's just nice when you lift it up and you're like, yeah, it needs a little more, and you just go with the drill. There we go. Eric says, as a kid, I rode on a school bus with a Allison AT545. That transmission has the best sound I've ever heard from an automobile ever. Interesting. If you ever come across something, Eric, let me, send me on it if you hear any noises or something like that. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever talk about transmission. It got me kind of curious. From automobiles, the thing literally whistles as it shifts gears. Interesting. That's pretty cool. It's like having a turbo, but not a turbo. So it's kind of funny because Johnny, he says, could Dodge 318. He says they get to the point, they won't start easy. He says they keep on ticking. So that's actually one of the trucks I have an 87 Dodge Ram. It's been a little bit molested, let's say. It's got a weird story on it. That truck, must have been music passing by. Doesn't sound like somebody's. But no, that truck Mom bought from the neighbor, right? She bought it for collecting leaves in the yard, doing yard cleanup, just random little things. That was my very first vehicle, actually. And I you know how it is. You just fall in love with it because it's like your vehicle and stuff. I had it for many years. It's only 2-wheel drive. And the truck actually, the transmission went out in it. It had a 318. It was a 2-barrel 318. I ended up thinking the motor was kind of weak, and I guess I had some money in my pocket I wanted to burn, and I, changed it out with another 318 with my dad and another guy. The motor seemed a little tighter, but it wasn't hot rod. It still had the 2-barrel on it. It is what it is. The transmission went out in it. I sold it to a buddy from school, and I realized he had such a big love with this truck, right? He told me that he said that he was always jealous because he didn't have that nice of car, and I always kept my truck rims and stuff on it, and kept it clean. And I guess I didn't realize there was some girl or something with him that mentioned something about, I'd be riding with him or something. He got a really nice truck, and that made him always kind of jealous. So he tells me this as we're adults, it's just kind of hear stories, right? Because, when I'm a kid, I'm just thinking, whatever, man. I'm a kid. And in high school. And anywho, transmission goes out in it. I just want to get rid of this thing. I don't really have nothing to do with it, whatever. I sell it to him for $750. Very stupid. Very stupid. I was looking for cash quick. I just wanted it out. It was taking up space. I was actually I was basically growing the garage door business. This thing was in my way. I needed to stack doors in here. I'm saying I'm not doing nothing with it. I want it gone. So something's better than nothing. It's just a scrap. I don't have the time, whatever. So I sell it to him, and I sell it to him on a handshake, right? I saw him. I said, look, here's the thing. I said, if you ever go to sell this truck, I said, make sure you contact me first, because I did have some sentiment with it, so He said, all right, I can do that. So many years goes on. I think this truck, he pretty much right away put was the 5.3 in it. I'm not real up on that stuff, you know, but he put a 5.3, basically an LS type motor in it. I think it's the 4L60 transmission, you know, nothing. So he put all that in there, right? But he never put the drive line in it. So the truck was parked for, it had to be at least 10 years. And I kept him randomly at the gas station. So I finally told him one day, you know, I kept cornering him. I said, hey, man, I said, get the truck running? You know, no. And I seen it just as when I sold it to him, maybe, you know, about a year later or something. I seen it cruise once or twice. And I was like, hey, man, there's my old truck, you know? And so anyway, I said, you get this truck running yet? No, I got to get a drive shaft for it. And I got to get it. It's not running in there, but it's all wired. I got to figure out how to get it running, you know? So I'm like, okay, whatever. Finally, I tell him one day, you know, I said, look, I'd like to buy my old truck back. And he's like, nah, he goes, I'm not ready to give it up, you know, so I kind of let it go. This goes on for 2 or 3 times. I keep seeing him at the gas station. Finally, I quartered him, and I said, look, what do you want for this thing? I said, do you want 1,000? I said, do you want 5,000? You want 10,000? What do you want for this thing? I said, I want this thing back. And he's like, well, he says, I got the motor and transmission. I got some stuff into it, the links and all that, and the shifters. And, you know, and he says, you know, you give me $5K for it. He says, I'll sell it. I'll sell it back to you because I might be looking at a shell or something. I have my eye. All right. I said, I'll do that. I said, I'll get them rounded up, and I said, I'll bring you the money. So we did that. I get the truck. I forget if I flatbedded it out of there myself or towed it, whatever. Anyways, got it back up and running. It runs like a dream. It has a lot more power than it ever did with the 318. But it's not duck, right? It's got the Chevy versus a Ford. People kind of like, some people like that. Some people are like, what? But honestly, in some, I kind of missed the 318 because it was a very simple engine. I could work on it. You know, and I still look for a donor once in a while, but then I just go, gosh, do I want to go back to this thing turns? You know, it's just no pumping the gas. The other one used to get what they call it, vapor locked or whatever. It was hot. Sometimes it'd be funny when you go start it. You know, it wouldn't crank over right away. You have to really crank on it hard. So a little background on that. So the Dodge, though, 318, it had a turbo noise as well, but that transmission was louder. Huh. Yeah, send me a video on this mission. That's crazy. Maybe I'll get me a bus. That's what I need. Get a bus full of a bunch of immigrant workers, and we'll have a grand old time. You know, all that cheap labor. I got some kids. I need to put them to work. They need child labor crap. You know, they need to learn. So, oh man. But hey, Johnny, thanks for sending me pictures. But like I said, I'm probably gonna cut off here. Like I said, it's been pretty quiet tonight, but it's been great having you guys that have been here. I really appreciate the conversation and the questions and comments and all that. So it's always a good time. I'm always appreciative of it. Said if you guys come across or some of you that are staying in the background or you guys come on this video later, you're always welcome to. You can always shoot me an email if you got questions about doors and gates and business and life and you know, should you go with the blonde or should you go with the brunette? You know, because I know. Oh, yes, that's right. Eris guy said a bus would be great for door sections. Heck yeah, man. He says, good as 10. He says, I got to go get my beauty sleep. That's right. Go get your beauty sleep. All right, guys, I'm cutting out of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. And we'll see you on the next one. Like I said, keep sending me some of those pictures, the text, email, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you the next time. Never know when. Never guaranteed nothing. We'll see you guys if I figure out how to turn this off.